Hi, Adeline.
Hi, Adeline.
Hi, Beckham.
Hi, baby Beckham. Hi, family.
Hi, everyone.
We have a new book from Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, Addie and Beckham. It's called, I think you know what it's called, Addie, right? Do you know those letters? Can you remember that letter?
And the next one, I know she knows it. And then two of these. And then the last one, Nubby.
Nubby. That's Nubby. I think we'll find out. And that's his dog, whose name is not Shorty, because he's not short. This book is called Nubby, and that's Nubby. And this is Nubby's neighborhood.
This is called a cul-de-sac.
And I think a lot of these places on this page you'll see in the story coming up.
Sandbox of some kind. Playground. Somebody's house. Look at a very tiny little Nubby there on the blanket. Can you close in on that?
Can you see Nubby there on the blanket? Can you point to Nubby? So we're going to see a lot of these characters and places in this story called
Nubby.
This is by Dan Richards, and the illustrations, or the pictures, are by Shonda McCluskey. Grandma Belle.
Nubby was done. I think you have to go up
Look
higher.
how done Nubby is.
Oh, even higher. Oh, poor Nubby being pulled and licked. Oh.
Stretched all the different ways. Nubby was done. He had been carried, buried, dropped, dragged, torn, worn, chewed on, sat on, and even used as a nose wipe.
Repeatedly.
Many times. See the boy wiping his nose on Nubby? Right there. Nubby's a nose wiper. The dog's like, You see the dog giving the boy and Nubby the side eye? It's like, what am I going to do here? The dog is going to get involved.
For sure. A bunny can only take so much. He needed a new beginning. Somewhere he was appreciated.
That afternoon, while the rest of the house slept, Nubby ventured out into the great, wide world. There he goes, down the street, in the mouth of the dog.
The dog's name is El Doggo.
El Doggo.
He hadn't gone far before he had a most unexpected meeting.
Who do you think he sees?
The resemblance was uncanny.
Look at that. Do you know what animal that is?
Longish ears, poofy tails, and wrinkly noses. Friends. Surely he'd be appreciated here.
See the surprised bunny and the running bunnies? You can tell they're running because they have like fast lines drawn out of them and surprise lines coming out of their heads. They're like, what's this guy? First it's a dog, and then they don't know what to think of.
There's a lot of bunnies.
A lot of bunnies. But instead of welcoming him, they ignored him. It was as if they didn't even see him. His boy would never treat him like that. His boy would... He couldn't quite put a paw on it, what his boy would do.
Oh well, Nubby told himself, something better was bound to come along. And soon it did.
Right there. What is she dressed like? What is she holding in her hands? What is she wearing over her shoulders? Who is she, Addie? Who is she, Beckham? Nubby landed the starring role in a magic show. He'd be famous, and then everyone would adore him. He just knew it. It's a magic show. She's a magician. But fame can be fickle, and Nubby found himself all alone, back on the street. She was trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat, but those kids aren't interested. There's one ballerina princess, and there's one little baseball player boy. There's one girl with a rattle trying to stop the baby from crying, and the poor magician says, "Magic show today." And she's saying, "Ta-da! Watch me pull a rabbit out of the hat." But they don't care. Even the cat's not interested. Cat's sleeping. It says, "Zzz."
Finding someone to appreciate him was hard work. He longed for a familiar voice, even if sometimes it was whiny or grumpy. But Nubby was far from home, too far to turn back now. If popularity and fame weren't the answers, then what could it be? Of course! Why hadn't he thought of it before? He just needed to be rich.
She's rich. She's driving in her own car.
Her own little convertible with her fantastic little scarf flowing in the wind.
And she's wearing a little crown, a tiara, like you do sometimes.
She's a princess.
And the kids are all excited. She's a rich princess. That's what Nubby thinks he needs to do, become rich. What's going to happen? Then everyone would see how amazing he really was. Nubby set out across oceans and continents, braving all manner of danger, searching for treasure. He's all over the playground with the dog, El Doggo, just like you. He goes up the wall, he climbs up the rock wall, he goes down the slide. There are swings. But Nubby found it. He would be wealthy beyond his wildest dreams, and everyone would have to appreciate him. It all seemed so obvious. Do you see the treasures? What treasures do we see there? There are some funny treasures there.
Pizza? A wiffle ball? A necklace? Oh, what's that? It's like a dog toy.
It's a dog toy. What can you see, Adeline? What treasures can you see, and which one do you think the dog, El Doggo, is going to choose?
Alas, fortunes can be lost as easily as they can be found. Nubby lay staring up at the sky, the pain in his chest cut deep, deeper than torn cloth and strewn stuffing. It went all the way to the very fabric of his soul.
Oh, he's so sad.
He's in pain.
Do you see his sad face? Maybe things will change.
Everything changes.
He missed the old days, laughing and playing with his boy. Remembering brought a sad, fuzzy sort of smile to his face. Back then, his life had been... What had it been? It had been messy and loud and unruly, but it had also been close and unspoken and real. If only he could go back. If only it wasn't too late. Look at all the things he did with his boy. Down the slide like you, into the mud puddle, I hope not like you, but maybe. Playing in the mud with the boy. It's pretty fun.
And then he made a startling discovery, a life-changing discovery, a discovery worth all the pain and loneliness and heartache he had endured.
What's he going to discover? What does he discover? Nubby pulled himself up, found a ride, and hurried. Do you see how fast that boy's going on his bike with Nubby in the basket? They're going so fast. He hurried. Where did he hurry?
Back home. Oh, Look how happy. Oh my goodness.
Happy Nubby. Nubby was still carried, buried, dropped, dragged, torn, worn, chewed on, sat on,
Oh, wait. Oh, there.
and even used as a nose wipe.
Oh, but look. Wait.
What happened?
It reminds me of another book.
What book, Grandma Belle?
Where somebody has a button missing and somebody sews his button on because she thinks he might be more comfortable. Corduroy?
Do you remember Corduroy? The little bear that went all throughout the store, up and down the escalator. But now, he barely noticed. He was too busy being nuzzled, snuggled, cuddled, clutched, bathed, bundled, squeezed, smooshed, and utterly adored. That sounds just like you and Beckham. You are being nuzzled and snuggled and cuddled and clutched and bathed and bundled and squeezed and smooched and utterly adored. And now, do you look at the face on Nubby? Can you see that face? Can you make the happy Nubby face? Look how happy he is with his boy. And look how happy the dog is.
And that made all the difference.
Everybody's sleeping. Everybody's happy. They were just reading bunny comics.
Look how sleepy the dog even is.
The dog had a big day.
Big day.
He took Nubby on adventures.
Certainly did.
And now we get to revisit the trip from Nubby's house. Can you find Nubby's house? I'll give you a clue. There's a heart at Nubby's house. And then they go to the tree and the playground and through the backyard and to the sandbox treasure pile and round and get a ride home. It's not too far in distance, but he went a long way in experience. He experienced a lot of things, and then he found his way right back home. He made a full circle.
In the cul-de-sac.
In the cul-de-sac. That's the story of Nubby. Thank you for listening. Thank you for playing along, Addie and Beckham.
Adore you, utterly adore you, and wish we could cuddle and
nuzzle
and
smooch and purr. Can
and
you
hug.
Purr for Beckham?
Yes.
Do you want to purr for Beckham? And for you, Adeline, a kookaburra laugh. Can you do your kookaburra laugh? That's just a little extra for you. We love you both. We love you all. Mwah! That's another PadaGringa production.